All right, Gunners, welcome back to Gunner Pavilion, and the international break is done. We are over and done with it, and now back to regular action in the Premier League. And the international break has been kind to us in terms of injuries. I think we've been kind. I know Arsenal players reportedly come back injured, which is good. So we're going to talk about the Arsenal and the Fulham game, the Fulham Arsenal game. We're going to preview into that. We'll talk about the players that might be available. What are the things that we think are going to make the difference in this Arsenal game, and how can we stay the top of the league? So we'll break it all down in this preview episode. And before I go on, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Really appreciate all of you that keep coming back to the channel and watching the content, and share this with as many Arsenal fans as possible. If you're looking for something a little bit different, something a little bit less, angry and stuff like that, this is definitely the podcast for you. And we look at Arsenal games and we preview and do reactions to the games after the game. So let's get into this preview. Okay, guys, let's talk about team news. So team news, Martin Ødegaard is out. The reports are confirmed. He's got an MCL, which is going to keep him out for about 6 weeks, which is a long time. But unlike other times when Ødegaard is away or Saka is available, we fret. But right now we're calm. Arsenal fans are calm, and the reason why is because of Eberechi Eze. So we're not worried about that. Hope our captain comes back strong. So he's definitely out. And then we've heard reports that Kai Havertz is a little bit advanced in his recovery. There are stories that are suggesting that he's already stepping up his fitness. I don't expect to see him in this game. I think this game is going to come too quickly for him, not even on the bench. But I suspect that we might be seeing him just before the international break, because we're going to talk about those 6 games that Arsenal have got in the next couple of games. That's going to be absolutely crucial for Arsenal. So we've got that. And then we've also heard that Madueke, is doing light training as well. I mean, there's no need to rush him back. Saka is getting into his groove. So, we can allow that to just play out very nicely. Hincapié, I think, is already back with the squad and training. Will we see him in this game? I think very unlikely. I think we'll talk about the lineup, but I don't expect a lot of changes to that. And of course, Rice, who went off injured with the back, we saw him play with England, as well. Good performance in England. So back with the Arsenal. So it's great to have these players just come back into the fold without loss of injuries, because it means that we can really, really keep our strength in depth. And listen, this weekend, it's a very, very tricky weekend for lots of teams. Why? Because it's after the international breaks. You've got teams, players who've traveled far, for the break and come back, and it's almost a different, mind thing to just kind of get back into the Premier League. So, and if you've got a Premier League game and you're traveling, away for that game, that makes a difference as well. And Arsenal is traveling away for this game. Listen, we're going to Fulham. So let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the Fulham game. We're going to Fulham. Fulham is a team that have notoriously been difficult for us. I think the last 2 seasons we've either lost or drawn, or the other way around, but we've dropped points at Fulham. And these are the games, guys. These are the games. I know everyone had to go at Arsenal in the Liverpool game and Man City game, but these are the games right here. These are the games that are going to determine what's going to happen in the Premier League. Fulham have got a lot of ex-Arsenal players, so they always get up for this game. You've got Bernd Leno, you've got Iwobi, you've got Emile Smith Rowe, who a lot of Arsenal fans are still very fond of. Hale End graduate. We thought he was going to be carrying that midfield for us, but it wasn't meant to be. He's gone. So they always bring that energy and they smell blood, right? This is going to be a difficult game. It's a derby. It's a London derby as well. So it's going to be a difficult game. So what do we think about the team right? What do we think about who's actually going to play? I'm going to talk about that in a second, but what I want to do is just talk about why this game is so important for Arsenal. Right, we finished before the international break against West Ham, 2 goals victory, one from Saka, one from Rice, and we're top of the league. Liverpool have had an inconsistent performance in the last couple of games, and they've lost a couple of games as well. Now, Liverpool play Manchester United this weekend. And Manchester United, you don't know what you're going to get. But what you do know is that when they play against the big teams, they really step up for those games. So I expect this game to not be a one-way traffic. I understand that it's at Anfield, but Arsenal have got to capitalize. And this game against Fulham, you need a professional performance. You need to get the 3 points. That's all that matters. But then we've got 5 games after this that would absolutely set us on the right path towards winning the title. And I've heard people talk about the last couple of games of the season. And honestly, um, you can lose 1 or 2 games, right? You just don't know what happens, injuries and everything. But this stretch of the season is where you can build that buffer that helps you in the long run. So we got Fulham away. Now, we've talked about that. Next thing is Crystal Palace. This is a tough game. Crystal Palace are no longer the sort of team that you can just bank a 3 points on, right? They've got talent and they've got the ability to play up to the competition as well. I know it's at the Emirates, so I would expect Arsenal to get the 3 points, but that is going to be a tough game. And that's also sandwiched between a Champions League game. So we've got Atletico Madrid, at home next week that we're also going to be playing as well. And then we start a successive away games. So Premier League, Champions League, Premier League. So we play Burnley. We also do Slavia Prague, I believe. And then we also go to Sunderland. These are away games. And Burnley and Sunderland, they're going to be difficult. They're going to be difficult games. And these are games that we really want Arsenal to take the 3 points. And then you got a big one, the North London Derby. Honestly, the Spurs team is a little bit different with Thomas Frank. And Thomas Frank has always had that ability to just get into Arsenal, and his record against us is very decent, right? So that is a big game. And then, for Arsenal, these games are so important. Then you've got Chelsea, to round off those fixtures. So these are big games, and we need maximum points in all of this. I think if we can come out with maximum points in this game, I think this will really set up very, very well. Okay, so what I want to see in Fulham, I want to see bravery. I don't want to see us, procrastinate, especially in the early parts of the game. I do want us to really establish our dominance, but also score some goals because we've had this habit of, not being able to break teams down in terms of scoring goals. And leaving it a little bit late because you don't want them hanging around. You want this game to be over and done with as quickly as possible. So couple of games. I expect to see Eberechi Eze in that number 10 position. He's got to play the number 10 position. So let's go into the lineup, right? Because Raya in goals, I think that goes without saying. The back four, we've got Calafiori. I can't see anything that would suggest that he's going to be dropped. He's been playing very well. You've got Gabriel, you've got Saliba, and then you've got Timber. Timber has actually been one of Arsenal's better players this season. And if you play fantasy, you'll probably see that as well because he's got ridiculous amount of points, especially the games that we've played so far. And then your midfield, you've got Rice and Zubimendi. You've got those two there. I think they start, and this is the question: what do you do about Merino? Because he goes for the international break, and then he comes back and have a performance. And this is where Mikel Arteta might be tempted to actually play Merino. And you might think this is an away game, right? Do we want to start with that? I feel like Merino has a place in this team. But I don't think that you want to start and allow Fulham to get comfortable. He's an attacking midfielder. He's not defensive at all. but he's not a creative midfielder, and there is a difference. And we want that creativity with Eberechi in the number 10 position for us, because that just unleashes a lot of things. And then on the left, I think either you have Martinelli or you have Leandro Trossard. Either of them, I think I'm okay with that. And then you've got Saka on the right and Gyökeres up front. That is the team lineup I'm expecting to see. And then a really strong bench. I expect to see, the likes of Max Dorman, Nwaneri. I think Nwaneri deserves to come in and play a little bit of Merino as well, Miles Lewis Kelly. So that bench should be looking really strong. And maybe Merino may have to double as a second striker for now. I think that might be his role in Arsenal. And so, guys, listen, that's the lineup. What do I think would happen in this game? I think we get another 2-0 victory. I think this is another 2-0 victory against a Fulham team that will be difficult to play against, difficult to break down, but we've got to do the business, guys. So listen, this game is important. We take this game and then we move on to the next one. And that's my preview for the Fulham Arsenal game. Drop your comments as well. Let me know what you think about the game. What do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to shine for Arsenal? And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And of course, share this with all Arsenal fans as well. We'll see you at the debrief. Win, lose, or draw. We always do our 3 ups and 3 downs. What we saw in the game, what we think could be better. And I'll see you guys in the next one.